What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we are going to be ranking the top 55 Detroit Lions for the 2020 NFL season. This one is going to be long, so grab your popcorn, grab your Snickers, grab your Sweet Tarts, grab your Jolly Ranchers, I don't know what y'all eat, and sit down, relax, and enjoy the video. Let's get it started. Welcome in, everybody, to another video. Glad you guys are here. Now, before we get into the main portion of the video, we got to go slide over and check out the comment of the video. Okay, good. I said it right that time. Let's go check it out. Here we go. So, as you guys can see, it's a very long comment, so we'll get to that one in a second. But before we do, I have to give a shout out that Sunday, August 16th is the date we plan to have our first live show for Fan to Fan Network on Twitch. So I told you guys to go follow. You can go follow Fan to Fan Network on Twitch. That's the place we're trying to push traffic, because August 16th is our date. We are looking to kick that thing off, man. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be something that's going to be daily. You're going to see tons of content creators, including your boy. It's going to be a really fun time, though. So August 16th is that day. I've had a couple of people ask that question. So that's the update right now. If something changes, I will keep you guys updated. And also, let's take a look at the comment of the video. And it says, "Hi from Eddie." Okay, now look, I have to do this. I don't think I've ever given a shout out to Eddie before, but Eddie deserves a shout out. Eddie, I hope you are watching this video, because in nearly every single one of my videos I post, almost all of them, he may have done all of them, he posts the comment "hi," just "hi," and I always respond with "hi." I try to always respond with "hi," and man, Eddie, I appreciate the heck out of you. Now, he'll comment some other things, but seriously, you can go check out a lot of my other videos, and you will see this comment in the comment section. So shout out to Eddie. You deserve it, and you probably will come up here another time with your "hi" comment. I love it. It always makes my day when I see that. I'm just like, that's Eddie, man. I just think of Eddie. Okay, anyways, let's hop right into this video, man. We got a lot to talk about. Keep in mind, these are just my personal opinions, and this is for 2020, okay? These are the players heading into next season, like how well I think they'll perform next season. So yes, rookies, free agents, those guys will be included. It's not necessarily just about what they did last year. It's what I necessarily think they can do for the Detroit Lions next season. But it is also about what they did before. That way, you know, we can make an educated guess on what they could do next season, okay? I think you guys understand. But again, these are just my opinions, man. I just think this is something fun to do. We saw the NFL Top 100. We've seen all those Top 100 lists. So I was like, you know what, let's do one for the Lions. I don't think I can do 100. I could do 90, which is every single player, but a lot of these guys are going to get cut. Even guys that I may name here get cut. But since we're having a 55-man final roster, I thought we'd just go with 55. Let's just make it simple. So below some players you would move around. A lot of these I think you could easily move around for sure. I think the top 20, I really like my top 20. After that, it's honestly kind of movable, but we're just going to have some fun with it, man. Don't take these lists too seriously, okay? These are just my opinions, and I want to have some bold ones in here to make it entertaining, okay? So look out for those. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So let's just hop right into it. This is going to be kind of long, so I'm going to try to say these as quickly as possible. Let's get it started. Let's start off at number 55, we'll start off at, I guess, 56, where we have an honorable mention, and that is D. Virgin. I believe D. Virgin actually played the most snaps on special teams of any player last season. D. Virgin gets the honorable mention here. So number 55, I have Elijah Lee, the former Kansas State linebacker. Now, when I watch Elijah Lee, I like his ability to track the ball. He's pretty athletic, I would say. Hasn't had tons of playing time in the NFL, and he may not even make the team for the Detroit Lions. But I feel like if he does, he could be kind of that player there, like, oh, he's getting a couple of snaps, kind of like a Jalen Reeves-Maybin, because I feel like he has a really good head for the ball, and I think he could be okay in Matt Patricia's defense. He just has to make the team first. He comes in at 55 to start the list. Having at number 54, I have Geronimo Allison. Now, Geronimo Allison honestly could have been way higher on this list. He did add a lot of receiver depth. I mean, the Packers are losing depth, and we are adding depth. It's crazy. They have like no wide receivers. We have a lot of receivers. Anyways, Geronimo Allison is now a Detroit Lion. He's honestly not that bad. He had a couple of injuries that kind of slowed him down, I believe. But he's proven to be a pretty solid receiver in the NFL. Plus, he was an NFC North player playing with the Green Bay Packers. Maybe he gives us some insight. Maybe like tell us what they're going to do before they do. I don't know if he could do all that. But coming in at number 53, I have Nick Bawden, the fullback. Now, I had to find a way to put Nick Bawden on here, but I didn't put him as high as probably a lot of people would. I just don't know if he makes it, honestly. I really think that the thing with Nick Bawden is Isaac Nauta could easily take this role if Hunter Bryant makes the team. When your running back group is already pretty deep because of how you addressed it, I'm concerned this guy won't make the team for the Detroit Lions. And because of that, I put him really low on this list, all the way at number 53. But I'm definitely rooting for you, Nick Bawden. My problem is I really just don't see a spot for him on this team. I think if Hunter Bryant makes it, I don't think Nick Bawden is going to make it. Let's hop into number 52, where I have Hunter Bryant, the tight end. So there you go. There is Hunter Bryant. A lot of people have high hopes for Hunter Bryant. Some people already saying this is the second best tight end currently on the Detroit Lions roster. And while I won't go that far yet, I will say in college, this guy was athletically gifted and very talented, and he has the ability to play different spots on the offense, including the receiver position, and he won't look out of place. Very talented player, definitely some injury concerns, some major injury concerns, not a lot of snaps in college. So there's definitely some concerns. There's reasons he fell out of the draft, but just purely talent when he's on the field, it's really high. He has a lot of talent. So for me, I decided to put Hunter Bryant at number 52. Hopping in at number 51, I have CJ Moore, the safety / special teams player. I watched a lot of Detroit Lions film, and I saw certain times where CJ Moore would step in defensively. He got some defensive snaps, I believe like 76 defensive snaps, and he also played a pretty good role on special teams as well. He's not bad. You know, when they have injury concerns or someone goes down with an injury at the safety position, he can step in and play that role. It's not great, but he can hold his own at the safety position. So I put CJ Moore at number 51. Hopping in number 50, I have linebacker Reggie Ragland, the former Kansas City Chiefs, the former Super Bowl champion, is now a Detroit Lion. And the leadership can definitely help. You're a guy that has been to the Super Bowl. And while I really may be underestimating that part of his game, I don't know if he's a starter for the Detroit Lions, because to me, he's a guy that plays near the inside. He's a big run stopper. He's a big body. You're not putting this guy on the edge. He's just not that kind of player. He's not super athletic. And I think in the inside, we're going to see guys like Jamie Collins, Giant Tavai getting a lot of snaps. So he could be a good rotational player, but I think that Super Bowl experience could definitely come in handy. I do think he does make the team for the Detroit Lions. Let's hop in to number 49. I have receiver Quintez Cephus. Quintez Cephus, a guy the Detroit Lions selected this year in the NFL draft, a receiver out of Wisconsin who has absolutely great hands, with speed being the biggest concern coming out of the draft for Quintez Cephus. But the great thing is that the NFL is not track. It is all about being able to play on the field. And when you watch a guy like Quintez Cephus, he has great ball skills. He's a very talented receiver, good route running. He's physical. He can block. He may not be the fastest, okay? And he may not be the most athletic player out there, so we may have some limitations. You may have to put him in the slot. But he seems like he's going to be a reliable target for Matthew Stafford. Maybe not a ton this year, but definitely in future. Number 48, we have defensive lineman Kevin Strong. Okay, Kevin Strong here. Now, a lot of people want to see a video on Kevin Strong. A lot of people requested that, and I am planning to do a video on Kevin Strong. Very impressive how he's even ended up with the Detroit Lions, and he is still here. And I think with a guy like John Atkins deciding to opt out for the 2020 NFL season, this guy could see a little bit of a role. Maybe a smaller role, but definitely a role in the defense for the Detroit Lions. And yeah, that's enough for me to put him in at number 48. Hopping into number 47, we have Jalen Reeves-Maybin. Jalen Reeves-Maybin is purely basically a special teams player that does slide in at defense from time to time. He has actually really good athletic ability, like a very athletic. At one point, I think he was arguably our best pass coverage linebacker, really, until Jelani Tavai stepped in. But he's been pretty reliable for the Detroit Lions. If you need him in a pinch, you can put him out there on defense and he'll be okay. And he can definitely do his thing on special teams. I really like Jalen Reeves-Maybin. A lot of people always forget about this player, but he deserves some love here. To number 46, I have Miles Killebrew, the safety Miles Killebrew, kind of like Jalen Reeves-Maybin, a main special teams type of guy. Miles Killebrew, coming out of college, known for his big hitting ability. But I do see him mixed in still defensively here and there. It seems like he's still trying to find a role for the Detroit Lions defense. Day 3 pick, the guy has held his own in the NFL, and he's been okay with the Detroit Lions. He's been a versatile player that they can move around, try at different positions, and he's just a nice little weapon for, I think, Matt Patricia. He's not great at anything, but he's just a solid little piece that you have out there. And for the price, I think it just makes a lot of sense to continue to bring this guy back. I like Miles Killebrew. He's a solid role player. Coming in at number 45, I have Isaac Nauta, the tight end coming out of Georgia. So yes, I have Isaac Nauta above Hunter Bryant. But for me, man, Isaac Nauta could have a really big role for the Detroit Lions, possibly playing some at the fullback position next season. As I mentioned, if Hunter Bryant makes the team, I can see Isaac Nauta sliding to fullback. But Isaac Nauta, like Hunter Bryant, has that ability to pop out as a receiver. He has that athletic ability. He has great hands. Isaac Nauta didn't have the best showcase last year, that's for sure. But don't count out Isaac Nauta. That year 2 jump can be vital. And if we talk about T. Johnson jumping up in year 2 and having a big impact, don't forget to go on my guy Isaac Nauta coming out of Georgia. Number 44, where I have offensive lineman Kenny Wiggins. Now, a lot of people would have this guy way, way higher on this list. You know, he could sub in and be a starter time to time, right? He can rotate it out. He'll play backup. He can play at the guard positions. He's an all right interior offensive lineman for the Detroit Lions. My main problem with Kenny Wiggins, for 2020 is I see a way less of a role. See, last year he wasn't bad for us, and I don't think he's a bad player. It's not that he got worse. I just think the big problem is here, he's not going to have a huge role in 2020. I have a lot of confidence in these young guys and some of the new guys that we brought in. I think he's going to be a backup offensive lineman, and I don't think he's as good as Joe Dahl. So because of that, I have him really low on this list, but that's not a shot against him. I just think the Lions brought in a lot of new offensive linemen that are going to take a lot of time from him. Hopping in number 43, I have Ty Johnson, the former Maryland running back and returner. Now, Ty Johnson is one of those guys that could potentially push for a guy like Jamal Agnew's role this season because he can play that return man position. He is very explosive, and he's a lot stronger than what he looks like. And he's shown some flashes. I mean, against Green Bay in our last game, he had a really nice run before halftime. He's shown some flashes for sure. Again, I just think the running back group is super deep. Guys like Bo, Huntley, Swift, and Kerryon, I don't see a huge role here for Ty Johnson, but the talent is there. So I don't want this guy to go anywhere. I hope he finds a way to make the team because I don't want this guy going elsewhere. He has the talent. And maybe I'm underestimating. Maybe he has a way bigger role than what I'm saying here. I'm just a little concerned about that role being too small, but I hope he does make the team because he does have talent. It just is taking him a little bit to adjust, and that's what happens with every player, but he's got a lot of talent. I think we've seen some flashes of it. Hopping in number 42, I put Michael Ford, the cornerback. Michael Ford, he was on Twitter, I remember a couple weeks ago, someone put, I guess, an article or something out saying that he was on the roster bubble, and he was mad about that. He's like, why am I on the roster bubble? I played a big part in our 3 wins, and he did pretty well against the Kansas City Chiefs as well. Michael Ford, kind of like a lot of these other guys we talk about, is someone that you can put in. And when you look at our secondary, Matt Patricia is not afraid to mix guys in and out. And we saw that with Michael Ford last year. He's going to mix guys in and out all the time, making sure guys are fresh. So I think Michael Ford does make the team. I think we're going to have a deep cornerback group. I just think, again, he has a lot of competition with Darryl Roberts, Amani, Jeff Okudah, Desmond Trufant, Justin Coleman. I just think there's so much competition there. But I do think he makes the team for the Detroit Lions. Michael Ford, he's been growing on me a little bit. Let's hop at number 41 where you have Darryl Roberts. So yes, him and Darryl Roberts right next to each other. Look, I just think it's really tough to choose between the two, so I just put them right next to each other. Darryl Roberts, the cornerback, the former New York Jet, who in 2018 played pretty well, 2019 not so much, but he was a starter at one point. He has shown that he can be a starter in this league with a Jets team that maybe doesn't have the best supporting cast. So he has proven that he can be a starter, and he's not going to be asked to be a starter, at least I don't think, at least I hope not. So for me, Darryl Roberts could shock some people because I think, again, this is a player a lot of people forgot we brought in this offseason, kind of went under the radar. I talked about it being like the Rashaan Melvin move. It was a cheap deal. I just think it makes a lot of sense. Hopping to number 40, we have Chase Daniel. Chase Daniel, the quarterback from the Chicago Bears. Our backup quarterback, baby. That's our backup. Chase Daniel, man, doesn't get a lot of love from everybody. Some people love him, some people hate him. But at the end of the day, the contract may not be the best. However, Chase Daniel, to me, is a pretty solid backup. And when you look at what we had last year, even though I love that these guys, you got some experience, it would have been nice to have a veteran backup to rely upon. I think that was what we have in Chase Daniel. I think he shows tons of flashes of this guy can be a starter, and all of a sudden, boom, you see a mistake. And it's like, that's why he's not a starter. I've done a film breakdown on this player, and yeah, he comes in at number 40. He's a good backup. I think he's a good backup compared to strictly backups. How do you get number 39? I have, yes, sir, John Penisini. Yes, John Penisini cracks the top 40. Some people are saying, who in the world is John Penisini? Well, he is the defensive lineman Detroit Lions selected out of Utah. My guy, John Penisini. And I know a lot of people want shirts for that, but I don't think I'm going to do it. Either way, I think John Penisini, like I talked about with Kevin Strong, could have a bigger role because John Atkins opted out. I think John Penisini might be the next John Atkins. Atkins did have a little role in that defensive line. And when I look at Danny Shell and Nick Williams, I'm looking for a guy that we can rotate in and out, just a nice little rotational piece. And I think we saw a guy like John Penisini's role just improve a little bit. It has been proven you don't have to take a defensive lineman super early to have them be impactful in the inside, especially Matt Patricia's defense that needs run stuffers. So because of that, man, John Penisini, I think he's going to be good. I think John Penisini's good, and I think he's going to be even better than I was initially expecting next season. 38, we have Jesse James, the tight end, the former Pittsburgh Steeler. He's here with last year for the Detroit Lions. A lot of people look at him and say, yes, he's a big disappointment. I think it was a mixture of things, maybe not getting enough attempts, Jesse James maybe just not playing that well, but he did help in the blocking game, and that goes very overlooked. He has great size for next season, and maybe he's more comfortable. I mean, you got to think, everybody was new to this offense, so everybody's trying to get comfortable with this offense. There's only one ball to go around, so it's going to be hard for him to get tons of targets. I don't see him getting tons of targets, to be honest with you. It's never had tons of targets for two tight ends, I would say, in a Darrell Bevell system. However, he does want his tight ends for a reason. So I think he's going to be impactful, just maybe not a huge impact statistically. I think it'll be a lot more blocking. For 37, where we have Christian Jones. Christian Jones, another guy I feel like is forgotten a lot. A lot of people don't like Christian Jones on our team, but he's honestly been an okay player for us. I don't know if he's necessarily a starter level player, which he's had to play at for a while, but he does do a lot of different things, and Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn really seem to like him. So I'm going to put him at number 37. And I think maybe if he has a little bit less of a role next season, he'll be better. I think that might help him. Hopping at number 36, we have Jayron Kearse, the safety, the former Minnesota Viking we brought in this offseason. I like Jayron Kearse, and some people love Jayron Kearse as well. Some people like him, some people don't. When I'm looking at the safety group, safeties are super important. We play a lot of 3 safety sets, and Kearse is that guy that has the size that can be the X factor defensively, play in the box, move around. With no more Tavon Wilson, Jayron Kearse could be that surprise guy that a lot of people aren't talking about. To the top 35. We're down with the first 20. Not sure. Okay, stop. Now let's hop in to the final 35. Hopping in number 35, we have offensive tackle Tyrell Crosby. I feel like I need to put Tyrell Crosby at number 35. Crosby is a good backup offensive tackle, okay? I don't think you want him out there to start. I think he could do okay with it. He could hold his own, but he's a good backup tackle. When I look at the Detroit Lions roster with Big V and Taylor Decker being the main 2 tackles, if there's an injury, Tyrell Crosby's going to be the guy to step in. He's done it time and time again. He's proven. I like Tyrell Crosby. Tyrell Crosby deserves, for me, to be in the top 35. Hopping at number 34, we have Jarrad Davis, the linebacker. Now, Jarrad Davis, the former first-round pick back in 2017, I think has really struggled with the new system that Matt Patricia has brought from Jim Caldwell's. However, we have seen Jarrad Davis play well when his role was a little bit decreased. And I think now, with some other linebackers in the mix, like Jamie Collins, a really good linebacker, I don't think Jarrad Davis has to play necessarily a big of a role on passing downs, and because of that, he's going to improve. Jarrad Davis graded out really, really well when he was not on the field for obvious passing downs. I think that could be the case next season, and he could be that player that has a really big bounce back year that he needs, and he has that motivation after his 5th-year option was not picked up. At number 33, we have running back Jason Huntley. Yes, Jason Huntley is this high above Ty Johnson. While I like Ty Johnson, I think Jason Huntley is the next J.D. McKissic. I said it time and time again, and McKissic had a pretty big role with Darryl Bevell. Matthew Stafford, the Detroit Lions offense, did a lot of things for J.D. McKissic, a lot of reverses, a lot of passes, put him at receiver, put him at running back. That's exactly what Jason Huntley is. That is exactly what Huntley is. He can return, he can play receiver, he can play running back. Who knows, he could take Jamal Agnew's role next season. That is exactly why they drafted Jason Huntley. So for anybody confused, it's their J.D. McKissic replacement. That's why he's so high. I have a lot of high hopes for Jason Huntley in year 1. I think he could be pretty good in this offense. Yes, he's a rookie, but I just think he's going to have a pretty solid role. 32, I got to show the man some love. Some deep ball Hall love. Marvin Hall comes in at number 32. The man that had a handful of receptions, but yet hundreds of yards receiving. The guy is an absolute deep threat. And while I think he may get a few more receptions next season, I don't think it's going to be crazy because, again, there is only one ball to go around that far up in the depth chart for the Detroit Lions receivers. However, this guy is an absolute threat down the field. And because of that, Marvin Hall has to come in here. He's an absolute speedster, and Matthew Stafford loved going to him. He made a lot of contested catches. He was pretty darn reliable. He's a problem because a lot of defense gets stuck focusing on Marvin Jones, Kenny Golladay, Amendola, and then bang, you hit him with deep ball Hall. Hopping at number 31, we have Jamal Agnew. Okay, now Jamal Agnew is definitely right on the bubble. So it's kind of high to have a bubble player. But my thing is this, purely talent, this guy was an all-pro return man at one point. And wow, he struggles to hold on to the football at times. If that is cleaned up, this guy is a great returner, as a punt and kick returner. If that's cleaned up, who knows if he'll have a role in the offense? Who knows if he'll even make the team? But I just know at his peak, he can ball out. So you know what? I'm showing him some love. I'm going to give him some hype. Jamal Agnew comes in at 31. Into the top 30 now, we have at number 30, Nick Williams, the defensive lineman we signed for Chicago Bears. Yeah, you may think he'd be higher after we gave him a bigger contract than Danny Shelton, and he had 6 sacks last year. I get it. But I'm still a little bit concerned. I'm not going to lie. This is a player I'm a little bit concerned about how well he will play next season. I mean, he was so inconsistent. I mean, for a year, he wasn't even in the league. And last year, yes, he balled out. He had a lot of great players around him. I hope he brings that production. I really do. I'm just a little bit concerned for a guy like Nick Williams. I just don't know how great he'll be, so I put him down at 30. But that's still not bad. Hopping at number 29 now, we have Austin Bryant, the edge rusher out of Clemson. I have Austin Bryant a lot higher than a lot of people do. Like I said, if you guys haven't seen my Austin Bryant video, you got to check it out. I have went back and watched Austin Bryant, and he made me excited. In the little amount of snaps that he played, in the little amount of stats that he put up, he is exciting. He's explosive. He can do different things. He can bounce into coverage. He can come to the quarterback. He's got different pass rushing moves. Matt Patricia can have a heyday with a guy like this when he is comfortable, okay? When this guy is healthy for a full season, we don't know what we're going to get, but we could get some greatness. Hopping in at number 28, we have Bo Scarborough. I got to show Bo some love, man. Bo was a monster last year. When he got the opportunity, okay, the former 7th round pick by the Dallas Cowboys, I believe, the Alabama running back is a powerhouse. He mixes the whole dynamic up of our running back group because we really don't have a guy like that, but Bo Scarborough is that guy. I would say a diamond type in the rough that we found through going running backs after running backs after running backs because of injuries and injuries and injuries. We finally stumbled upon Bo Scarborough, and he proved right away this guy deserves to be in the NFL. Bo Scarborough, I got to show you some love back. Number 28. Number 27, we have Jonah Jackson, the rookie guard out of Ohio State. And while I think this is one of the top pass protectors in this draft class, one of the most polished and could start day one, I have to put him all the way at number 27. I think that's a really good ranking for a rookie. A guy that I haven't even seen a stat from yet. I think he could definitely start next season. But as you guys know, I haven't listed Logan Stenberg yet because I have a lot of high hopes from him. Hopping in number 26, I have Will Harris. I did a video on Will Harris as well. And just like the 3 safety thing, Will Harris, if he is our 3rd safety next year, if he earns that role, which I definitely think he will, Will Harris, he's going to be a problem. Yes, I know he's not going to be your main starter, but we run so many 3 safety sets. We move our guys around so much. He's going to be more comfortable. Go check out that video for a long explanation. But basically, he's going to play a different role next season. And because of that, he's going to get a lot better. He comes in at number 26. And in the top 25, here we go. Coming in at number 25, we have Amani Oruwariye. In the little amount of time that we saw Amani, just near the end of the season when he finally got his opportunity to play, Amani balled out. He ranked in for a few weeks as our best cornerback on the team. And while he did show he is a rookie and he has things to work on, this guy also showed crazy potential, intercepting Aaron Rodgers on a big moment, a big stage for Aaron Rodgers. They needed that win, making a huge play, taking the ball out of the receiver's hands on Washington, proving I can get turnovers man-to-man defense. This guy has a bright future. Number 24, we have another offseason addition. This is a player that we drafted out of Kentucky. This is Logan Stenberg, and I know what you're thinking. Wait, you have this guy above Jonah Jackson? Are you crazy? Yes. Look, Logan Stenberg has things to work on. He can't be getting flagged all the time. But this dude is a freak. Okay, he's named Mr. Nasty. That's all you need to know. Go watch this guy, okay? Even if you're not watching his highlights, simply go watch his game film. He's a beast. He's mean. That's who I want protecting Stafford. That's who I want run blocking. Sure, things to work on, but I think in terms of next year and the future, this guy could start next year, and this guy could turn into one of the best offensive linemen in the league. Seriously, write it down. I believe that. Hopping in number 23, we have Joe Dahl. Okay, yes, Joe Dahl and Logan Stenberg come close together because Joe Dahl, to me, I think is better than Kenny Wiggins. That's why, again, I don't have Kenny Wiggins here. And Joe Dahl, he does it all, man. I don't know what else to say. Logan Stenberg's a rookie. Jonah Jackson, rookie. I haven't seen him yet. Joe Dahl, I've seen him move around. I've seen him play different positions. I've seen him play well. I've seen him start. He has to come in at 23. Hopping in number 22, we have Julian Okwara. Someone actually commented in one of my videos saying that Julian Okwara could be one of the best players on the Lions, a first-round talent, which some people did believe he would go in the first round. He fell to the 3rd round. Definitely some injury concerns. Romeo Okwara's brother, but he could be a starter next year. Year 1, a 3rd-round pick, could be a starter at that jack role for the Detroit Lions. He is a pass rusher. Run stopping, he's got to work on it. But strictly pass rushing, he's athletic as heck. I mean, you don't find guys like this. He comes in at number 22. Hopping in number 21, I have Deshaun Hand. And while I would love to put this guy higher because of what I saw in his rookie year, I can't bring myself to crack the top 20 with him. I haven't seen enough. Too many injuries, too many consistencies. I have not seen enough for me to put him in the top 20. I still am showing love. 21's not bad for a guy that's barely played. I just can't get him in the top 20 yet. However, he could turn out to be one of the best players on this Lions team. Number 20, though, I have Romeo Okwara. Now, I know people are saying, oh my gosh, this guy was bad last year. He went from 7.5 to 1.5 sacks. And while, yes, the sack numbers went down, he wasn't the same player, but Romeo Okwara is a freak. He's another really versatile guy, and I think this guy's really slept on. I think he was definitely at a disadvantage. Sure, he had Trey Flowers last year. He had no interior presence whatsoever. And when you're only bringing 3 guys, sometimes 4 guys, you need to have that interior presence. Now we have that with Danny Shelton. We didn't get that out of Snacks last year. Because of that, we didn't get any push on the inside. Romeo struggled. He definitely needs this guy to take pressure off him, okay? He needs to be in one-on-ones. He's not winning double teams like a guy like Trey Flowers will. So for that case, Romeo Romeo Okwara comes in number 20 for me. He's already proven, though. To me, Romeo's already proven, unlike Deshaun Hand. He's just proven a little bit more to me that this guy can be a beast in the NFL when he has talent around him. I put him at number 20. Hopping at number 19, I have Duron Harmon, another offseason addition. The Lions made signing from the actually trading from the New England Patriots, kind of swapping late round picks. It's a 1-year deal, but Duron Harmon is that guy we've been missing back then, that veteran, that free safety that we've been missing since Glover Quinn is now here. That's Duron Harmon. He's going to make Tracy Walker better. He's going to make Will Harris better, pushing him to a different role, in my opinion. And Duron Harmon is that closer we've needed. 17 career interceptions now in the back end. Yes, sir, I will take that. And we need the veteran back there. Hopping in to number 18, we have Danny Shelton. Okay, so I put Danny Shelton all the way at number 18. I feel like that's good. A guy that hasn't seen a snap, that literally signed a 2-year, $8 million deal, that's not that big, is in the top 20? Yes. Played his best year of his career last season, coming up with over 60 tackles, 3 sacks. The dude was really good last year, and this is what we need, that interior presence. For the price that we got him, I talked about him being the best bargain, and the price that you got him is unmatched. Danny Shelton is going to be a big part of the Detroit Lions defense. This Detroit Lions defense kind of, picking it back up in 2020. Danny Shelton comes in number 18. Hopping in number 17, I have Big V, the offensive lineman. Apula Velati Vitae. Okay, I know I messed that up. But anyways, Big V is here at number 17. There's definitely some concerns with Big V. I get it. But he's been improving every single year. And even though people look at him and say, well, he's been a career backup, he's bad. No, that's not the thing. He's been behind 2 of the best tackles in the league. He can literally play every position, tackles and guards. Big versatile, that's what Big V stands for here on Dose of the End 2.0. Big V could shock some people next year. You know all these pass rushers, your Preston Smiths, the Darius Smith. Sure, take Everson Griffin. Big V's going to eat him up. Dude's really good. Number 16, we have T.J. Hockenson. Yes, T.J. Hockenson comes in at number 16. And while I think T.J. Hockenson could take a big step next year, some people have this guy near the top 10. Not for me. Not for me. T.J. Hockenson, I don't know if he's going to take that big of a leap, but we saw flashes last year of how great he could be. And if he shows week 1 every week, he's probably the best tight end in the league. I'm going to be honest. T.J. Hockenson can be great, and he also can block for us. 16 is a good spot. I feel like 16 is not a bad spot for a guy that didn't play that well last season after week 1. Also had some injuries. So, coming in number 16, I just don't think he's going to put up crazy numbers, but I think he will improve, so he comes in 16. Number 15, we see a rookie, a guy we literally have not seen yet, DeAndre Swift. I'm counting chickens here or whatever. Look, I know, I put him at number 15. You're saying you haven't seen this guy in the league. How are you going to do that? DeAndre Swift is arguably the best running back in this class, and I think we need this. I think finally 2 good running backs. Kerryon is good. Swift is good. Put them together, all of a sudden you have a good running back group. We can't just have one. We need 2. We need good running backs. We need Bo. We need Ty. We need these guys to play together, help each other, make each other better. So for me, I put a guy like DeAndre Swift at 15. I just think he's going to have a big role. I think DeAndre Swift is going to have a big role for the Lions. Hopping now in number 14, you may have guessed it, is Kerryon Johnson. Yes, Kerryon just ahead of Swift just because I've seen him. But simply this, Kerryon Johnson's rookie year literally averaged 5.4 yards per carry. The guy's a monster. The guy is a monster when healthy. He just needs to be healthy. That's it. You bring in Swift now, add in motivation. People are saying, oh, he's not working out. Add in motivation. This guy's going to stay healthy, all right? He wants to be the future of this running back field. He's already proven he's great in the league. That's the thing. He's already proven. He just needs to stay healthy, and he could be really good for the Detroit Lions for sure, especially with a good passing game taking pressure off them. Hopping now to number 13, we have Justin Coleman. Now, Coleman, yes, after about week 6, kind of didn't play so well, but neither did any of our cornerbacks. It all fell downhill after the Quandre Diggs situation after the loss to the Vikings. I get it. Okay, I talked a lot about it. However, in this case, Justin Coleman may arguably be the most athletic cornerback in my eyes. He punches the ball. He's got a great knack for the football, to hit the football, knock it away. Very intelligent player. He can stick with a lot of guys a lot better than any players I've seen in man-to-man coverage. There's a reason he was grading out so high early, and they were like, wow, this is like an absolute monster. Sure, he fell apart a little bit late, but I feel like he's going to get back onto it in 2020, and he's going to be ready to go. Hopping in number 12, I have Danny Amendola. Yes, number 12 is Danny Amendola. I know it may be too high for some people, but how can I not put him up here? I mean, literally, after what you did last year, I would feel sad for not putting you at least number 12. You were so good last year. You deserve this. Danny Amendola, you deserve this. You had one of the best years of your career last season at your age. I don't care about the age. Age is just a number. Tell him, Danny. You balled out. You balled out. You deserve to be this high. At number 11, I have Matt Prater. Yes, Matt Prater. Okay, now initially I had him in the top 10. I think you can interchange these two however you want. I put him at number 11. You need to have a great kicker. Okay, the Lions struggle with kickers that cost him games at times. We finally found our guy, Matt Prater. Matt Prater is one of the most clutch kickers. He's also playing this year to have, a little wager. Whoever makes the longest kick, is going to get, free beers or whatever for the whole city. Whatever I can't exactly remember what it is. But either way, Matt Prater has hit so many big-time kicks. And while he's not always the most consistent on ones that you would just be like, hey, you should probably make that, and he misses, it's like, oh my gosh, Matt, what are you doing? Did you even show up today? But he'll hit the big one, the most important one. All right, yeah, he'll miss the first one, but he knew there was going to be a flag on the offense. He knew he was about to back up 5 yards, and he'll make that one. Matt Prater is just clutch. He's the definition of clutch. He's like the Matthew Stafford of kickers. He comes in at number 11, and I think you can interchange him with number 10. That's Jeff Okudah. Yes, I know I put Okudah in the top 10, or rookies in the top 10. I know what you're thinking. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Yes, I'm serious. Okay, I have to. The expectations have to be really high for this guy. And he's not even my top cornerback, so keep that in mind. The expectations don't have to be high. He was the 3 pick in the draft. He's going to be our number 1 or number 2 corner. Going to have a huge role. The guy has to ball out. All right, he doesn't have to be the best cornerback, but some people say, well, cornerbacks can be good year 1. Sometimes they're not. We've also seen other guys take the league by storm in year 1. They're all pros. And it's like, whoa, hold up. Where'd this guy come from? And recently we've seen that. Ohio State knows how to produce cornerbacks. I don't like him, but they can put out secondary players. Okudah could be really good. He was the best cornerback in college football to me. So he comes in number 10. Having at number 9, now we're into the top 10. Well, I guess we already were. At number 9, we have Desmond Trufant, the former Atlanta Falcon. And the only reason I have him above Okudah is because, again, I've seen him in the NFL at least a little bit. And last year, yes, he played in 9 games. He gave a pretty high pass rating, but he came with 4 interceptions. He showed the knack for the football. He's talked in interviews saying that he feels fast. He doesn't feel slow or anything like that. Desmond Trufant's a good corner, and he gets a lot of hate for some reason. Desmond Trufant is a good cornerback. And just like any cornerback, they need help. They need the front 7 to get some pressure. And I think with Desmond Trufant, Trufant, he won't be perfect because he's not. However, he is going to be a good cornerback for us. I don't think he's ever lived up to a top corner like some people thought he would be, but he's going to be a good cornerback for us. And at least for now, I have him at number 9. Hopping at number 8, I have Taylor Decker, the left tackle. Now, Taylor Decker to me has also gotten a lot of hate from a lot of Lions fans. A lot of Lions fans don't want him back. And I understand why. And the Lions may not bring him back after this year. But it's such a big year for Taylor Decker specifically. I think he plays really well. And Decker has been pretty solid ever since his sophomore slump. He's been a pretty solid offensive lineman, offensive tackle. It's not easy to play the left tackle position, all right? Especially in the NFC North. For me, I think Taylor Decker needs a little bit of love here. I put him in at number 8. Hopping at number 7, I have safety Tracy Walker. Walker at number 7. Okay, I see you, Tracy. After 2 years for the Detroit Lions, you are number 7 on my top 55 players. That's incredible. Tracy Walker took his game to the next level. I mean, he did. He went from a guy that was like, oh, this is good, this is a fun project, to all of a sudden it was like, wow, a league-wide known name by the end of next season. I mean, wouldn't be too hard. Less than 16 games played, over 100 tackles, plays the strong safety position well, will literally match up against anybody you want. Throw out Larry, throw out a tight end. He doesn't care. He'll take on that responsibility. Sometimes those don't always work. He has the confidence. He can do a lot of different things. Matt Patricia has to be excited that he has Tracy Walker. And I think this is a big reason they didn't make a go move to try to go get a guy like Jamal Adams. Hopping in number 6, we have Marvin Jones Jr. Nearly cracking the top 5. I just couldn't put him in there, but he's really close. I mean, these are your top level players. These are your guys that could arguably in an NFL top 100. Some injury concerns that keeps him out of games usually every single year, just a few games. But when he's on the field, like I said at times, he's arguably the best receiver on the field. Sometimes it's just like, oh my gosh, Marvin. 4 touchdowns versus Minnesota? Are you kidding me? And while it definitely does help to have a sidekick like Kenny Golladay, I mean, it's just a matchup nightmare. That duo is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Comes in number 6. Hopping in number 5. Here we go. The top 5. Guess them before I say them. At number 5, we have Jamie Collins. At number 5, we have Jamie Collins. I think I have this guy way higher than a lot of people do. A lot of people don't even have this guy. Probably wouldn't have this guy in their top 10. Jamie Collins, to me, is the best player we brought in this offseason. And he is arguably he's arguably the best player we have on defense. I think he's going to be arguably the best player we have on defense. He can do it all. He can stop the run. He can play pass coverage. He's literally the best pass coverage linebacker in the NFL. Need I say any more? All right, 3 years, 30 million. He's 30 years old. Yes, he's 30 years old. He's in his prime right now, and he's in the defense that fits him, that Patriots defense. This is going to be great. Oh my gosh, he's going to be great. Number 4, we have, guess it, Frank Ragnow, the center out of Arkansas. Man, Frank, Tracy, what are y'all doing already up this high? You guys are killing the game, man. Frank Ragnow, okay? Possibly a top 100 snub. Frank Ragnow, again, another guy like Walker that could be nationally known after this season. Kind of like Quentin Nelson. Frank Ragnow is a beast. And if this run game turns into something, he's going to start to get his name out there because Ragnow is by far our best offensive lineman. I mean, he has been so good. Ever since he's went back to the center position where he's more comfortable, I'm lost for words. He's just really good. Now we have the top 3. I know you know the 3 players, but can you guess the order? Coming in at number 3, we have Trey Flowers, the man that had 7 sacks last season for the Detroit Lions, leading the team with Devon Kennard. Now, Devon Kennard is no longer here, but he came off to a slow start. He's coming off of an injury. I get it. He got comfortable, and all of a sudden, this guy was like, okay, yeah, he's worth the money. I mean, if you don't believe it, just go watch the full games of him. You can see play after play with literally no one else doing anything on that defensive line, rarely any more pressure. The team had 28 sacks. He had 7 of them. He literally had a quarter of our sacks, and the Detroit Lions were not doing much aside from him. This guy is really good. Trey Flowers, he's really good. I mean, he's worth the money, and I think he's going to prove that. He's still young, too. It's crazy to think how young Trey still is. Now we have our final 2. We have Matthew Stafford, we have Kenny Golladay. Which order do they come in? At the number 2 position, the second best player, in my opinion, on the Detroit Lions for next season is Kenny Golladay. Yes, you guys know I had to put Stafford at 1. I had to put Matthew at 1, but Kenny Golladay could easily be at number 1. Kenny Golladay, coming off of his best season, had 1,190 yards, leading the league in touchdowns, and somehow he's not a top 100 player. It's laughable, but we Lions fans know Kenny Golladay is one of the best receivers in the league, and he's literally been in the league for 3 years. How are you this great? Not to mention he's now in a contract year, and he had to play with a backup and a third-string quarterback. I need to walk off. Kenny's going to be scary. And finally, number 1, we have Matthew freaking Stafford. Matthew Stafford, the bad man Matthew Stafford. Yeah, we're taking that over. Matthew Stafford, who played the best football I've ever seen from him. 19 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, 2,500 basically yards, and 106 pass rating. The guy was on an MVP tear, and they were 3-4-1 without him. They lost every single game without him. That tells you how good he was playing. It does. Matthew Stafford, when he's healthy, I'm scared for other teams. I'm not going to lie. With these weapons and Darrell Bevel, I'm scared for other teams. Comment below what you guys think of the top 55. What would you change? Who would you add? Thank you for watching, and I'm out.